Hey everyone, welcome to the Big Fitness Show. It is episode 22, and I only weigh a little bit more than that. This is this is Stevie Richards, along with my co-host. I'm a very close friend, becoming my best friend with each passing episode.
Uh,
Big Mike Behrens, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I love it. I think you weigh a little more than 22 pounds,
I,
but
I was heading in that direction for a few weeks. It was when you drop 35 pounds in under 2 weeks, you could get down to 20
uh,
pounds real quick. Can you imagine me at 22 pounds? My God.
oh God.
My
I
one
can't
cab, my
imagine
one cab
losing
weighs
22
more than that.
pounds.
I think it's about 20, clocking in at about 25, 26 right now.
Oh
Crazy.
shoot, that's funny. I don't know what it is. Every time you start one of these shows, you get me busting up with your intro.
So we got to put the weight in every time. I actually weighed in at 188 this morning, so I am gaining some weight
Okay.
back. I will say this though, and this episode is about the compounding effects of fitness, whether it's positive and or negative. And I've been having to adjust my workout order and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, on the fitness channel, I'm probably going to end up doing a 30-day. I switched everything around because I usually do my cardio first. And I just mentally and emotionally, cardio just gives me that runner's high, even though I don't run. And
Sure.
I found that since I started really doing more and more cardio after I recovered from the spine infection, that I started to get the stubborn belly fat back in the lower part of my abs.
Uh-huh.
So I watched a bunch of videos and read up, and there's a lot of trainers that say you may want to warm up 5, 10 minutes. You can do that, but don't go balls to the wall with your cardio. Do your strength training first.
Yeah.
Then either separate the cardio in another session altogether or put it at the end of your workout and even cut that down. So, I mean, starting off with that, that's a compounding effect over time. What do you think about that advice?
I think that's great. Yeah, I don't do
That's
my
the way to
cardio
go.
until after yeah. I mean, I just, back when I was doing old school bodybuilding stuff, it was always cardio afterwards. Some people do cardio before. I mean, for me, I've always liked doing cardio afterwards. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know that I've ever paid enough attention to it to really know if there's a difference in the muscle growth or how it affects my body. But I think I just always liked really crushing the workout and lifting heavy and whatever, and then doing some cardio afterwards. So yeah, I think it's good advice.
I think it's more for me it's not so much, I was gonna say it is a mental thing because I like warming my
Mm,
body up. Sometimes the injuries kind of loosen up as you're on cardio. That was always my
yeah.
main kind of thing with that. But compounding effects, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. And I think that's where it is. And of course, I'm over 50. We're going to talk about in this episode about even as you get older and even our age difference, where we're at with these compounding effects of fitness. So definitely, I mean, I was never leaner than when I was almost dying with an infection. So I don't, there's a part of me that's just like, wow, I kind of miss having it because I was so lean. I don't know if
The
that's normal.
compounding effects of sickness are not as good as the compounding effects of fitness.
Had abs though. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on that right now.
Oh shoot, that's funny.
That's what my
You're
wife said
making me
on the
cry.
video outside where I was like, "Hey, I finally got my abs," and she goes, "Of course you would say that." Like
Yeah.
after. So, what do you think about like compounding effects?
Yeah.
Like, what would you talk to somebody new about
Yeah.
fitness, about their workout, their fitness journey? How would you explain to them that you're not going to get the full results or the full benefit out of working out for the 21-day fix or then
Sure.
even the 90 days with P90X or whatever you're going to do? You're really just getting started. What time frame would you explain to somebody? Like what would month one, month two, what am I expecting over say even a year or 3 years or 5 years?
Sure, sure. Well, I mean, I was thinking about that what would I say to a beginner and how do you address this compounding effects? And because that's this for somebody getting started with fitness, I think that the addressing that compounding piece is huge because most people will think, oh, I just immediately got to jump in here and in 2 days, I'm gonna get all the change that I needed to do. So that's just not going to happen. You know, first of all, it took you however long to put the weight on. It took you however long to get out of shape. It's not going to be 2 days and I'm back in shape. Right. And I think a lot of people get discouraged there. And so I think addressing this compounding effects. Okay. So day one, if you're brand new to fitness, day one's probably going to suck. It's probably going to be hard. It's probably going to kick your butt. It's probably not going to be the funnest experience, but that day one is then going to then turn into day two. Day two is probably going to be harder. Day three is probably going to be even harder because the day one soreness that you're brand new to this is set in, and it's
You're
really
not
hard.
convincing most people at this point, by the way.
No, I know. It's pretty discouraging right now. But the point is the compounding effects of those couple days, when you can push through those couple days, that's what's going to turn into a lifelong fitness journey, you know, because it's all going to build on top of it. And the more that you can continue your fitness journey, you know, don't jump in, do one day and then take 3 days off and then drop off and then do another day and then take 3-4 days off and then do another day, because you're not getting the benefit of the compounding effects of the fitness. You're going to get in shape faster if you start and keep going every day. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It is. It's going to be hard, but it's hard to be 400 pounds too, you know? So like get moving on the first day and use the second day to compound the benefit of the muscles, your body waking up, your body's getting shocked into something it's never been in before. So you got to keep going to really reap the benefits, because I've seen so many people where they go day one, maybe they'll even go day two, but they're so sore on day three that they just, oh, I'm going to take a couple days off and I'm going to take a break. And then it's start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. And then, you know, for those of you watching on YouTube, you've got a baseline of fitness that is here. And then when you work out day one, you kind of go up, and then you work out day two, you kind of go up. And then on day 3, 4, 5, you take a day off, and then you got to go back up and back up and back up and back up to get back to the base. You know what I mean? And it's just this constant back and forth, and you don't ever get anywhere because you're not stacking it on top of each other. You know, if you stack every day on top of every day on top of every day with maybe one day off after 6 days, okay, that's just going to continue to work. And that to me is where I would start with a new person. Is if you're going to start, and everybody should, don't stop, don't take days off right away, because that compounding effect is what's going to get you through the hurdle of the first couple weeks, where you make it a habit. And then once it becomes a habit, now it's just consistency over time that really gets you where you want to go.
So basically pay your dues. You have
Yeah.
to, your body has to pay its dues in order to get to a certain point.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and it's so much easier to pay your dues if you stay consistent with it and build on top of it. And, but it's like with anything in life, you know, a lot of people talk about the compounding effects of in business or in the finance world. If you invest money in the stock market and just leave it there and it compounds over time, if you start at age 20, you know, Dave Ramsey talks about that all the time, where you start at age 20 putting money away, the compounding effects over time is going to make you a millionaire by the time you retire, just because that money is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. It's a kind of the same idea with your fitness. If you keep putting deposits every day into your fitness, over time, you're going to be very fit person. You know, it might take you a long time to get there, but at 10 years later, you're going to wake up and be like, man, I'm in great shape. I feel good. You know,
It's a very instant on demand society right now. So
sure.
that's a tough sell when you tell somebody. It's like I tell people, like, it's a lifestyle. You're going to be working out for the rest of your life, and their shoulders drop down and they look like you just like kicked their puppy or something. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking? Oh, I have to do this for the rest of my life. No, you get to do it for the rest of your life. And the healthier you are,
Yeah.
it's addictive. And I've tried to explain to people, we talked about it before, that this is the only thing, maybe the only thing in my view on my life. It was the only thing that I got out of exactly what I put into it.
Mm.
There's all these different factors in life, but with your fitness and your nutrition, what you put in your body and what you do to it, you're going to have a direct effect from that. And it's going to compound over time. And that's where the really great addiction of wanting to go work out all the time, and that becomes overtraining, to have
Sure.
a different compounding effect. But you don't want to tell people, and we talk about overtraining and other stuff too. There's a lot of people that I've come across that use the overtraining thing as an excuse to be lazy.
Totally.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to overtrain today. So I'm going to take a couple days off. And they
Yeah.
don't realize maybe we talked about last week, maybe the CrossFit programming is going to be for somebody new because they will get dedicated rest and active recovery days.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and I think building that into the training and building that into your routine is part of that compounding effect because
But if somebody's
you're
new, they can't build a routine. That's what I'm saying. They need
sure.
somebody to do it for them. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know if Planet Fitness at that point would be a good way to break you in because
Yeah.
you may
Yeah.
need,
Good point. Yep.
may need better instruction in that.
Yeah, like we talked about at the end of last week, you brought that up as a way to break somebody into fitness, getting into a CrossFit gym, getting with a personal trainer, something like that would be great for establishing that compounding effect because you just need to set a baseline to build on. And so yeah, no, I think that's a great point is getting set up with somebody to get started.
So what would you say to like I just feel like every time you say that, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to people that are already working out. But somebody that hasn't worked out, has the fear, has the indecisiveness, or just thinks, well, I have to do this, or I'll do this for a couple months, get into shape, and then I'll maintain.
Yeah,
What do you say to them when you're telling them, well, 2 months in, you're just getting started.
sure.
Nobody's gonna like hearing that.
Yeah. No, it's true. You're right. And I would say to someone who's new and doesn't want to hear that part of it, tough. I mean, I wouldn't get around with them and be like, well, hey, there's, I feel like you're either working the compounding effect to your benefit or to your detriment. It's either or, right? Like, and so with everything that you're looking at in life, from fitness, either you're moving your body every day so that you can keep moving, or you're not moving every day so that you can eventually stop moving. Right. And so you can start and stop that anytime you want. But if you don't move today and you don't move the next day and you don't move this day, and then 4 days later, you still haven't worked out, you still haven't done anything, it's that much harder to get started. And then next thing you know, you wake up and you're 400 pounds and you're like, holy crap, how did I do this? And so now that compounding effect has gone the wrong direction. But on the same token, if you go the other way, and, I was talking to a guy trying to help him on a weight loss journey. I told him, I said, start by walking to the end of the block and then compound the next day, walk back and forth twice, walk around the block the next time, then walk 2 blocks, then walk 3 blocks. And it compounds on itself. But then if he takes a day off or takes 2 days off or 3 days off, it's then that much harder to get started. So anybody new, I would just remind them that all areas of your life, fitness, nutrition, work, relationships, all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're an a-hole to your wife today, it's going to be that much harder to have a good relationship tomorrow. But if you're an a-hole today, you're an a-hole tomorrow, you're an a-hole the next day, you're a-hole for 6 months, you're probably going to end up getting divorced or separated, right? And so like that compounding effect over time that we don't realize is huge. And there's I know I'm getting off on a tangent a little bit. There's a great book that I read. It's called The Compound Effect. It's by Darren Hardy. If you've never read it, if you've never checked it out, you should totally do it. Read it. And there's a lot of great things in there to talk about the compound effect and how it affects your life. And so I would just try to stress that to a new person of, hey, you need to really focus on the little things. And over time, you will get where you need to go through that compound effect.
First thing, if you are an a-hole to your wife, or your spouses are a-holes, you could end up on Forensic Files or Dateline eventually. And then that's our go-to to unwind at night in bed, is husbands and wives killing each other. Figure it out. Last night, the lady was like, screw it, I'm burning the house down with the kids too. I'm okay. Wow.
My wife watches Snapped. She loves watching
Oh
Snapped.
God.
That's like
Well,
one of her
my God,
favorite
that might be
shows.
worse for you. Uh, we were
I
watching,
always tell her, I say, I like, are you what? Are you like training here, trying to learn all the tricks or what?
yeah, Snaps is not like that. I saw an ad for that. It was like, that's getting blocked from our TV. But I was that, what's funny too is like Forensic Files. I know we're off base, but we
Yeah.
put a little comedy into it. But we were watching it, and like I always say, like at the end when they catch and the person gets convicted and all that stuff, I was like, they got to have it talking headshot at the end, putting over forensics because it's Forensic Files, and of course, right on cue. If we didn't have forensics, this person would have got away. It was truly forensics that man. And then my wife just looks at me and I laugh. Then there's the other one where um, we'll keep it in. This lady, for some reason, she goes, "Oh Lord, oh Jesus, help me. Oh Lord." I just laugh. So that's it. So the compounding effects of being an a-hole.
Yes,
You
it's
watch
true.
Dateline and Forensic Files. So let's
You'll end up as the subject matter of an episode.
that was my fault. Let's get back on track. Want to talk
Nonsense.
about compounding effects over age, over time.
Sure.
We're talking about, obviously in your teens and your 20s, maybe even your 30s, you can overtrain, eat like crap, do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, those habits, and as well as I do, those habits will catch up to you and everybody, no matter how fast your metabolism is or what special recovery powers you have. Everybody's got to fall back in line with caloric deficit to lose weight, training, doing these things, and of course, trying to strengthen everything in your body as you age, because as you're doing that, your body is heading towards the ground. One
Right.
day, cellular breakdown, your body's trying to die. It's your job to try to keep it alive.
Totally. Totally. And the age, like as you age, the compounding effect of aging, obviously, like that's happens all the time. Your body continues to age, but we can fight against that by focusing on the fitness. And, like it's one of those things that you've been in fitness, you've worked out for 30 plus years, right? And you're 51 right now, right? And so the compounding effect over time for you, and to bring it back to your sickness earlier this year, your doctor told you if you weren't in the shape that you were in, you probably would have died from the sickness, right? And so the infection would have got you. And so that compounding effect of your fitness over 30 years probably saved your life, at 51, and has now continued to it made your recovery that much faster because you were already in a good position to recover. Had you been 100 pounds overweight, one might have died, but if it didn't kill you, your recovery would have been that much harder because you would have had to not only fight the sickness and the frailty that came with the sickness, you would have had to fight the extra 100 pounds of weight that you just let get out of control over time. So as we age, that compounding effect of our fitness is huge to work in conjunction or work against the aging process.
Yeah, definitely. I think about that all the time, and there was no bigger motivating factor to
Sure.
get back to working out and doing that. And let's think about all the injuries that I've had. You've had injuries too from the wrestling business.
Yeah.
It's literally my entire career, and even now, workouts. And this might be a better way for people to think about it. Your fitness journey, especially if you ever suffered one injury or any setback at all, it's physical therapy. It's
Sure.
literally your own physical therapy to keep you moving, to recover from injuries, to keep you stronger for future injuries. We're all going to eventually get hurt or sick multiple times. So now I'm training and eating for, God forbid, the next time something might come along, because I don't want any comorbidity. That's the word I'm looking for. If I had a comorbidity of 100
Mm-hmm.
plus pounds overweight, it would have crushed my spine even more. I would have
Mm-hmm.
had 10 times more difficulty walking, even in a walker and a cane, because I'm so heavy. I'm
Sure.
shifting my weight, and my spine is hurting even more because my skeleton needs to carry that weight.
Yeah.
So much could have went wrong,
Yep.
if I didn't take care of myself. So if people want, that is a cautionary tale. Look at the picture of me with the walker, and I'm only standing there for the picture in the walker. I got right back in
Right.
the hospital bed. I wasn't, hey, photo shoot's over. Throw the walker to
Yeah.
the side. Let's get out of this hospital.
Well, I thought,
We
wait, I
can make
thought you
that
faked
we can
this
make that the
sickness.
artwork for the thing. Me and the walker. How's that?
There you go. That's a good idea.
Hey, anything to get, what the hell is this? And just click on it.
Get some clicks.
Fitness show and the guy's in a walker in a hospital gown. What's this about?
Yeah, right.
So what about you? You know, I'm 51, you're
Yeah,
40, right? You're 41.
yeah, yeah. Just 40.
So
Yeah,
we got about to, sorry, I didn't want to add them there. You're
that's all right.
but you're hitting, we both hit milestones where people think their life is over,
Sure.
where they're, you know, my back, my knees, this and that. It was a good run. We all hear that stuff, probably from
Yeah.
people in their 30s too, which is
Yeah.
even more ridiculous. But
Sure.
now that you're in your 40s, what has changed about your lifestyle? And this is a good, as far as workouts, this is a good question because you're talking about adding CrossFit content to the YouTube channel. Say I put it
Sure.
out, you have to do it
There
now.
you go. Now I have
But
to. Thanks.
CrossFit content, and you want to put your money where your mouth is and
Yeah.
really dive even deeper into CrossFit because you
Mhm.
said it's a lifestyle, it's a way to promote longevity, wellness, health, fitness.
Yeah.
So now that you're 40, what would your fitness journey with the compounding effects of fitness look like?
Well, I mean, I think it's, if I didn't do it, it would be way different right now. I would be totally overweight. I'd be super heavy because I just eat, like crazy all the time, and I wouldn't be as in shape as I am. But what, from a wrestling perspective, let's take it there first. My fitness journey allows me, because of the years of staying in shape and the years of the things that I've done, allows me to stay up, keep up with the younger guys. I work, when I do shows, I work with a lot of 20-year-old dudes, and I'm able to keep up with them in the ring. And so at 40, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. And so my fitness journey now, what I've realized is I still like to lift super heavy, but I don't need to stay fit. And so focusing on the fitness of it is going to make me healthier all the way around. And when I go through phases, and I'll do bodybuilding heavy workouts, then I'll kind of go to some CrossFit workouts. And I've never really followed a CrossFit regimen consistently for an extended period of time. I mean, I love the methodology, I love the workouts, all this kind of stuff. But now I really am committed to sticking with CrossFit and staying and focusing on the CrossFit workouts, because I really do believe that they are going to be best for me moving forward. And the compounding effect of that, here's to go back to what I was talking about. The first couple workouts suck with the CrossFit. Like for me, the first couple workouts are a little bit harder because they're reintroducing the types of movements and not being so bodybuilding focused, where it's just big movements with bench press and squat and stuff like that. Getting into CrossFit, where it's more about conditioning, it's definitely harder, but it only takes me a couple of days to push through it, to get back into where my cardio is better, and I feel like I can actually push through the workouts and feel good with it. So my compounding effect over time will make me feel better. Like I'll have better cardio because cardio is built into it, and so it will just continue to grow over time.
We still have to get our CrossFit workout in as soon as my spine gets to a point where
We will
separate too much. So that's great. I mean, you now, like, the one thing that you look forward to, now you're talking about this is going to be and has been part of your life for many years. And now you're really going to dive deep into it. And however many years or decades in the future, it's going to be a bigger part. How do you tell somebody that, like we say in the beginning, how do you tell somebody that in a positive way that doesn't, I still can't quite process it myself when I say you're going to be working out for the rest of your life. And 9 times out of 10, I get a negative reaction.
Sure.
Oh, I got to.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. What would you say to
Yeah.
somebody to kind of turn that corner? Well, we should do a whole episode on mindset, because that's exactly what it comes down to, is a really negative, limited mindset.
Totally.
What else you got to do with your life? Like,
Well,
there's nothing else that's predictable. At least, like, when
yeah.
I wake up, I can work out, right?
Sure.
So it's
Sure.
actually the
What?
most stable thing you'll ever do.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's one of those things is just reframing the way you think about that. When you say that to somebody, you're going to be working out the rest of your life. Well, you're going to be breathing the rest of your life. You're going to be eating food the rest of your life. So why can't you work out the rest of your life? Like I'm not saying you got to go balls to the walls 2, 3 hours a day and really kill yourself in the gym. I'm saying you got to move your body for 30, 45 minutes a day. You got to stay physically fit for the rest of your life because that's going to be the quality of life that you want to have. You're going to have these things. There's certain things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to sleep the rest of your life. You're going to have to drink water, like there's things that you have to do. It's not like they're hard. And really when you reframe it, you're gonna, for me, I'm 40. If I wanted to, for the average person, that is in their 40s, you're planning on working until 60 to retire. Okay, well, if you're going to work for 20 more years, why can't you work out for 20 more years? If you're going to spend 8 hours a day working to make money and to do things like that, why can't you spend 1 hour a day or 30 minutes a day working to feel better every day? And I think it's getting people to reframe the fitness piece of it as, I think people have been so conditioned to have easy life. Things come easily. Everything's at our fingertip. We can order food and it'll be to our house in 30 minutes. We can order things on Amazon and have it in 2 days. And nobody wants to work hard for anything anymore. But the upside to working hard for fitness and working hard for that 30 minutes, hour a day, the compounding effect of what that does to your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your relationships, your career. There's so much that comes with it that I think people just don't even realize. And so, what I would say to somebody who has that negative reaction is physical fitness doesn't just make you more physically fit, it makes you more confident. It makes you show up differently. It makes people look at you differently. I was listening to a podcast the other day where we were talking about if two people showed up and applied for a job and their credentials were the same, they had the same ability, but one of them was in great shape. You instantly looked at him and he was in great shape. And the other one was not, maybe 100, 150 pounds overweight. Who are you most likely going to do business with? Everything's the same. Everything else is the same. Like you can say it's superficial, but when you look at the person who's physically fit, obviously they care enough about themselves to respect themselves, to take care of themselves, where the other person, maybe they don't, or maybe they just had a hard time. Sure. Everybody, don't come at me for that. The truth is, when you look at two people side by side and they have the exact same credentials, bring the same thing to the table, but one of them's in better shape than the other one, a lot of times people are going to want to do business with the better shape person because there's a level of commitment to show up like that and to be like that, where maybe that's not so much on the other way. And if you get mad at me for saying it, I don't really care, because it's just what it is, like that's how life works. And so committing to a long-term fitness routine, fitness training, working out, whatever you want to call it, is such a thing for the compounding effect in every other area of your life too.
Yeah, I think to look at it the least malicious way when you're talking about you're sitting in front of somebody and there's a
Yeah,
hiring situation, they may be looking at, like, obviously with sales and other things. I have a friend, Donovan Morgan, very successful in the insurance industry over the years, and he was overweight, and he'll admit he was an alcoholic. He had his life, the compounding effects of all the negative stuff were hitting
sure.
a peak or a low in this case. And he's definitely one of the most inspirational people that go from having, nothing. He worked full time in wrestling in Japan for like 5, 10 years. Then he was trying to figure out what's next, just like every one of us after wrestling to some
Sure.
extent. But long story short, he didn't sell any Medicare or any policies or the financial planning for as much as he could, even though he knew his stuff. He was still overweight. He didn't look like he had it together. And people, I guess, didn't trust him at that time. Lost a ton of weight, leaned out, got sober, got his life together, and dude's a multimillionaire.
Sure. Sure.
That's
Sure.
that's no exaggeration. Coming from California to Florida with $200 that I lent him to being
Sure.
a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
The thing he said that changed was he became healthy, and when he looked healthy, people obviously in Medicare, insurance, and then future financial planning look at your appearance and say, I can trust this guy with my money.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's so true, because you just show up differently when you feel good about yourself, like right now for
Even
us,
from an
for
employee situation, not to cut you off, an employee
yeah,
situation, if you look at somebody that's unhealthy, logically you're thinking, well, how many days does this person have to take off from work, or they not going to be available, or they look
yeah,
like, I mean, it's, you get judged. We all got judged, and we all
sure.
continue to get judged every day. It sucks, but people have a business to run. They want people to be able to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just life. It's just part of it. You can uh whine and complain about it, but it's the truth. And the thing is when you're moving your body, and I'm not saying that you have to be in Greek god form to get a job or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. So don't misconstrue my words here. Like it's it's when you're moving and trying and putting in the work and putting in the effort. Yeah, you might have been 100 pounds overweight, but maybe you've lost 20 pounds. You just feel better about yourself. Like my father-in-law, he's lost 47 pounds in the last couple months
Oh, wow.
and shows up differently for his grandkids. So shows up differently when I see him, is in a better mood, just feels better about himself. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that the compounding effect of the last couple months of him changing his diet and moving more has gotten to the point where he moved a little bit and he was in a better mood most of the time, or in a better mood some of the time, to now he's moving more. He's doing more things. He's showing up better for his grandkids. He's showing up better for his daughter and for me. Like, and so that piece of it, he just feels better. And that's the big part, I think, that the hidden benefits that people don't really realize about fitness. It's not just the physical benefits, it's the mental piece where you show up and you just feel more confident. You walk down the street and you feel better because you're trying, right? Like, even if you're still heavy, you're still at least trying to lose weight, and you're still trying to be better, and you're still trying to do more. And it gives you a confidence. And I was going to say that this morning, I had a good workout this morning, not bragging, but I just had a good workout and I felt good. I got a good sweat this morning. And I feel different right now having this conversation with you. I feel like I'm showing up just a little better than I normally do because my workout was really good this morning, and it's just little things with the compounding effect of fitness that translate to so many other big areas of your life.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on the hiring thing again. If you're sitting in a job interview or some high stress situation,
Yeah,
if you're in better shape, you're going to be more relaxed. You're going to control your breathing. You're not going to be showing that you're sweating and carrying
sure.
around 100 pounds. You can also just sweat all the time. So it doesn't
Yeah,
look like a good look. I would say this too, and I've been in that spot as far as people coming into a certain fitness business and they were overweight, but they
mm,
wanted to work there because they wanted to be a part of it. And also, they offered to let the building or the gym or whatever share their journey of weight loss journey or
mm,
whatever fitness journey. That's the way you can actually get hired, stay accountable, and get all the free help that you need. I would
sure.
give advice if somebody really wanted to work in the health, fitness, nutrition industry, be a testimonial for that business.
Mhm.
And I guarantee you'll probably get hired.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you
That's
say
very
that,
true.
like, I know I'm overweight, I know that the reason why I'm here, and
Hmm.
it's okay. I know I'm fat.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I was fat until the infection, but I'll get back. But but if you present it and say, I want to work here for this, but also I'll be selfish. I
Sure.
if I if I get this job, I will be accountable and you can use it as a testimonial. I will use your gym or whatever you have as
Sure.
the tools to lose weight. And then everybody wins. And I have the job I want, I have the accountability I need, and you have another testimonial. And I'm
Yeah.
working here. So people see it when they walk into the building every day.
Yeah.
That's a way to overcome that objection.
Yeah. Totally.
But you got
Totally.
to lose the weight. If you stay 100 pounds overweight 2 months in, you're probably going to get fired.
That's true. That's true. Well, okay. So let me ask you, what do you think about the compounding effect, not just in the fitness space and what it does in career path and your YouTube channel? You know, like how has that affected the growth of things for you?
Well, I mean, there's a big payoff in the wrestling business if you're 51 and you still look relatively like you did in your 8x10s. That's a novelty. So
Yeah.
I've always, it's sort of a business and work thing, which gives me the accountability I need. And then I
Right.
enjoy it anyway. So it's, working out is fun for me, but you and I have managed to monetize our fitness journeys.
Sure.
So that's what really makes the beautiful thing of, yeah, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life because I want to make money and feed my family. And there's all these different motivators. But, with wrestling, especially, not just working out and staying in shape and looking good on TV or even the physical therapy, but now in my 50s, it's trying not to undo, but hold off the arthritis, hold off the nagging injuries that were popping up when I couldn't work out with the infection. I was like, wow, my
Hmm.
body really got beat up in wrestling.
Yeah.
So it was even more of a, when I'm able to do it, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep
Totally.
keep going. So and being 51 too, just in general, testosterone levels come down, other stuff, your little bits and pieces of aging are always going to bite you here and there.
Sure.
And compounding with the infection and still recovering, my energy levels are down. So there's a lot of different factors. And I would say this because people look at you and I, or maybe just me in the wrestling sense, and say, well, you're a machine, you're a Superman, you're
Oh,
this and that and the other thing. You know better, you know as well as I do, and people close to me, when 1 or 2 o'clock hits, I'm done.
sure.
I'm done. I can't even shut up, Siri.
Sorry.
So, but 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm absolutely wiped out. And
Sure.
this is when I was trying to build up the wrestling analysis brand as I'm cultivating the fitness, this, here, and that. But the number one thing to cap this tangent off, the number one thing, no matter what, I could miss the show. Yeah, I won't do that. I can miss uploading the video or do whatever, but I got to get the workout in first thing in the morning.
Sure.
If I do that and I have to lay in bed for the rest of the day, I move forward.
Sure.
Compounding effect. Because I
Yeah.
know I'm exhausted, but I'm going to be rested up for tomorrow and I'm going to hit it hard again. And if that's all I can do, I'm building muscle, I'm burning fat, I'm eating and trying to gain weight back. This is all
Yeah.
this. And for people, I have an even further tangent, but I'll
No,
make
keep
it
going.
quick.
I got more questions about it.
For people that think they can't, and you might be looking at me right now and saying, well, you look fine and and it's because of all this, that, and the other thing. No, no, no. I started from below a beginner. I
Sure.
started from super remedial, kindergarten in the gym. And the compounding effect was after a week of isometrics, I can add another set of isometrics. After 30 days of isometrics, and that's all I was doing besides your basic steady state cardio. I was like, I'm getting stronger. I'm building muscle. The arthritis is going away. Let me try some dynamic stuff. Didn't quite work out. Let's do another 15 days of just isometrics.
Hmm.
Now the arthritis is almost gone. Now I got dynamic stuff, but I can't do barbell stuff. Let's do cables. Let's use that Soul Servo platform trainer. Let's use some safety mechanisms. Forgot a little bit about isometrics, fell off, said I'm feeling weak. Go back to isometrics.
Sure.
Because the compounding effect of not doing it started to
Hmm.
hurt my dynamic workouts.
Yep. Yep.
Every second, every minute, every day, every week, every month adds up.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. And it's okay. So then, uh, how do you think that the compounding effect has affected your, take the fitness piece out of it for a second, your your career since wrestling has been focused on your fitness channel and your YouTube channel and the content and things like that. So this is where, like, yes, we're a fitness show. We talk about fitness, but like this, tell me about how the compounding effect of what you've done over the years with your YouTube channel has paid off to the point where you have a thriving channel, but a
Yeah.
couple thriving channels.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, the wrestling one's growing a little bit quicker than the fitness
Yeah.
one did. Well, the compounding effect of not knowing, and we're going off of fitness, but it's everything in life. We want to make
Sure.
this
Yeah.
also, very much a lifestyle channel in a way. So what happened was I kept showing up every day as a tech channel and paying my dues and cutting my teeth, but not realizing I was like, oh, I want to be the next Steve Jobs and do all this stuff with marketing. But all those years of tech channel, it was moderately okay, successful, not making any money, but people started to pay attention. I look different, so they're going to pay attention to what's this big idiot have to say about, you know, technology. But that I didn't know it at the time, but that gave me the skills in order to edit video, build the website, do whatever I needed to do on the back end when I did switch over to a fitness channel. And even as a fitness channel, it sort of just compounded and it felt like sudden after a few years. But every day I showed up when there was growth, when there was no growth, when I lost subscribers, when I wasn't getting any views, when I tried an experiment out, it didn't work. And then I do the wrestling thing. And guess what? All the people here didn't even realize I even had a channel of anything.
Sure.
So
Yep.
now I got to go look. It's not be mad at them or be mad at whatever, but say, okay, what am I missing on the fitness side? All these compounding effects happen, but now the compounding effect of not auditing and assessing the channel on a regular interval came back and bit me in the ass. And
Sure.
somebody commented, or 10, 15, 20 people that, oh, we didn't even know Stevie had a YouTube channel on the
Sure.
wrestling one.
Sure.
So now I got to start all over. But these people that are saying, well, I don't want to have to start over with fitness and this and that. We're starting over each and every day or week as you and I have these talks about our brands and our business. We're
Sure.
constantly pivoting to
Sure.
make it work.
Well,
So
and I think
I
you're
don't know if I
you're
answered that. I think I did.
well, yeah, you did. I mean, you demonstrated, like, you talked about tech channel, fitness channel, wrestling channel, and now here you are. And just to illustrate everybody, uh, fitness is a compounding effect of fitness, which then I really think that focusing in on your fitness is the foundation for everything else in your life. And so you've always had that as your bedrock. Like, that is the foundation of everything you do, is your fitness, right? And then you also started to learn these other skills because you had a baseline of confidence. You felt good. I'm going to learn this new thing. And then you compounded this learning on top of this learning on top of this learning. And all the years learning about tech, learning about video, learning about editing, learning about all these things has now translated into 2 successful YouTube channels. You've got 80 plus thousand subscribers right now on the fitness channel, 20,000 and growing on the wrestling channel. And all of the knowledge that you've learned over the years has translated into now, holy smokes, this wrestling analysis channel is something only you can do because of your skill set that
Paying
you've
dues
learned
since
over.
2007 and learning the hard way.
Exactly. Exactly.
I
And
didn't go,
so
we didn't go
that
to school for this. We didn't go to school for our
right.
stuff, you know?
Right, right. And it's like, it's that compounding effect for what you've done. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is because I want to translate to people that it doesn't just have to be the fitness where the compounding effect takes hold and becomes such a big deal in your life. Like, you are uniquely positioned right now because of all of the things, because of your wrestling experience, because of your tech experience, because of your YouTube experience, has now translated into a really fast growing wrestling analysis channel that is starting to pay off for you. And so I say that to say, you didn't you, Stevie, didn't think 10 years ago that you were going to have a wrestling channel. You didn't even want to, right? Like, so
I didn't
now,
think 6 months ago I would ever have
well,
anything
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
right, right. But now all of that little compounding stuff, the little piece of knowledge here, the little thing here, the little thing here, growing on top of it, translated into a great opportunity for you that could potentially turn into a income generating thing for you, right? So I say that is like fitness is the foundation. Build the same principles of building your fitness to give you the life that you want from a physical perspective. The compounding effect of everything else in your life can translate to in your career, in your job, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing. Show up and work hard this day. Then tomorrow, show up and work hard. And over time, the compounding effect of showing up, putting in the work, paying your dues will give you the benefits that you're looking for.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the comments.
Boom, dude. Like I'm serious. And you know, and you're a great illustration of it. And you're, yeah, yeah. I just, you know, it's not like we're a fitness channel, we're a fitness show and we talk about fitness, but fitness translates to so many other areas of our life, and specifically the compound effect. I know I brought it up just a little bit ago, but the Compound Effect book by Darren Hardy, look it up. Compound Effect book by Darren Hardy. Maybe we'll link it in the show notes. But you guys read it and just or get the audiobook and listen to it. It's really good to just reframe your mind about a different way of thinking about things and how things grow and translate over time if you just continue to show up and be consistent.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, showing up and working hard, even when your environment is actually making fun of you for it. And we've both been in that situation where it was almost looked at as a negative thing, or you get punished because you're working so hard. They
Sure.
just keep piling work on you, but it's all steps in the right direction. So if you want to work for yourself, you have all these jobs, you realize it's a good thing. In our belief, God is pushing you away from that. That's not the place for you. You're not supposed to fit in there. But without the compounding effect of experiencing all that stuff, like here's where fitness can teach you this about life too. You're not going to essentially be doing the same exact workout all the time.
Right.
If you can and get gains, God bless you. That's awesome. But you're constantly modifying, you're constantly
Sure.
adjusting, you're constantly, what's the word I'm looking for? You're trying to adapt. You're adapting to your environment and adapting to a situation. And fitness at the core, too, when you're stressing yourself dynamically with resistance training or cardio, and you start to get your heart rate up, you're going to teach yourself how to breathe in a difficult situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a job interview. That's a stressful family situation.
Mm-hmm.
That is a deadline. That is, even though I lost my mind a couple of times over the past month trying to run two brands at the same time,
Sure.
it's the breathing and fitness and knowing that I stressed my body, I know what it feels like, and I can calm myself down. Stressing your mind, stressing your heart, stressing all these different things spiritually, it will bring down the room temperature in any situation you're a part of if you do it properly.
Yeah. Fitness is a teacher.
It's life.
Yep. Totally. It translates to everything. And if you focus on your fitness, you can take everything that you learn while training and doing fitness and working out and translate that into every other area of your life and be more successful in the other areas of life because of what you've learned in the fitness world, for sure.
And I'm proud
For
of you. Tell everybody about your CrossFit channel.
sure.
Put it out there again. You got to do it.
Yeah, no, I'll start doing more focused content in that direction. So, but I mean, as far as to wrap things up on this conversation about the compounding effect, I mean, I don't know if we can stress it any more than what we've said. I don't know if we can say it in any different way. It's just it works. It really, really works. And if you just stay consistent, consistency over time, boring consistency brings exciting results. That compounding effect is what will happen, and you'll get where you want to go. Just figure out where it is where you want to go.
Well, you got that shirt. Do you plan on selling that? I saw it in your story this morning.
Yeah,
Not right now.
I got it on right now. Yeah, no, it is available. If people want to purchase it, they can buy it on my website. But yeah, so it's
And
just a
also
fun
lets
thing.
everybody out there. I know you won't do it this time because you did it last week, but I'll do it. Everybody go subscribe to Big Mike Behrens channel. Get the subs up there. They're putting clips up here from the big fitness show. So if the whole episode on my channel is too much, go to Mike's channel. Check out the clips. They're a lot more digestible, 3, 5, 7 minute clips. Really great stuff. The Pay Your Dues one is one of the best performing ones right now. So check that out. Great commentary by Mike. And also, of course, supplement stuff from X Endurance and other basic supplement information. So I don't know anything. I had pre-workout.
Put me over. Thanks,
Looks
bro.
like a shotgun shell. Let me drink this. That's what I did.
Oh, I love it. I love
Well,
it. Well, hey, thanks for
I
that.
didn't even look at the label yet.
Shoot.
I'll let you
That's
take
good.
us out, Mike.
I feel embarrassed now. You put me on the spot.
No,
Put me
I'm
over.
proud of you, man. You do it to me multiple times every episode, but I'm proud of you and everything you've done. And I can't wait for the world to find out, what an incredible human being you are through the YouTube channel, the brand, and everything you have planned,
Thank you, dude.
including the
Appreciate that.
book. See, he has to write a book now. I said it.
Oh, geez.
Putting everything.
Well, regardless, you're still the draw, my friend. So with that, everybody.
Sympathy for the infection.
Before I give Stevie another chance to talk, I'm going to take us out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this week's episode of the Big Fitness Show. I hope it helped you kind of just reframe some things around the compound effect. As always, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate the support. We really, really do appreciate. Read the comments, check them out. Leave us a review if you feel so inclined. We definitely appreciate that. And for myself and the draw, Big Stevie Cool, thank you, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
I wish I knew how to draw.